Made mistakes I had to learn from. Built some bridges, had to burn some. Warning to those who sleep and go wake up and smell the coffee. Next time it's gonna be a stern one. Whoa.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Hawks Talk with myself, Jared Shamil. Now, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to Atlanta Sports Unlimited and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. The Atlanta Hawks season is officially over. It was a pretty disappointing season, to say the least. Where do they go from here? But before I get into that, I want to tell you about our sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is by far the best sports betting app on the market. All you have to do is bet over or under on 2 to 6 players, and you can win money while enjoying the games. And get this, if you use the code ASU, PrizePicks will give you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit, up to $100. So if you want to deposit $100, they'll give you a free $100 to play with. Sounds free to me. First off, Tony Ressler, the Atlanta Hawks owner, needs to sell the team. Since he bought the team, the Atlanta Hawks have a 43% win percentage. That is the lowest win percentage out of all of the Atlanta Hawks owners. They may need to just clean house completely in the front office. And what really solidified that for me is right before the play-in game, the Hawks had a chance to re-sign Vit Krejci, who has been huge, especially on the defensive end of the floor, ever since Saddiq Bey went out. They could have signed him, had him on their postseason roster, but they decided not to. They went with Trent Forrest instead. And then Trent Forrest didn't even play in the play-in game against Chicago. That play-in game against Chicago, honestly, I wasn't worried about Chicago at all. I thought the Hawks were going to easily get by them. But Coby White happened. And as I was watching the game, I knew Vit Krejci would have done a way better job than anyone else was doing on the floor. I mean, again, Trent Forrest didn't even play, so why would they sign him and not Vit Krejci, who has started for a lot of the second half of the season? And then they said they were just going to try to re-sign Vit during the offseason. So why not just sign him to play in the postseason when he's been a very, very valuable player for you? I just make it make sense. Now, when it comes to the actual team, they need to shake some things up big time. Now, if they want to choose between Trey and DeJounte, in my eyes, I'm sorry, it's an easy pick. You got to go Trey. I love DeJounte. He has been fantastic for the Hawks this year, especially when Trey went down. DeJounte had the best season of his career by far. He's a fantastic player. I've kind of lost faith in that him and Trey can work together. I wanted to believe that it could, but I don't think it can. So I think they have to keep Trey. And DeJounte the way he's played has risen his trade value, you would think. So I feel like they can get something good for DeJounte. DeAndre Hunter and Clint Capella, they got to go. Capella, his time here was great, but he's starting to regress. He cannot consistently make a shot 2 feet from the basket. And as your starting center, that's unacceptable. And DeAndre Hunter, at the beginning of the season, he had a quote where a reporter asked him what he worked on during the offseason, and he jokingly said, "I didn't work on anything at all." I'm starting to believe he wasn't joking. I don't think he worked on anything at all. And it's been like that every year of his career. The player he is today is the exact same player he was his rookie season. He's got to go. I mean, the foundation is there. You have Trae Young, you have Jalen Johnson, who has tremendous amount of potential, and he showed that this year. You have Onyeka Okongwu, who should be their starting center of the future. And I really like Kobe Buffkin as a backup guard, or maybe even potentially a shooting guard that you can put next to Trey. He has really shown what he can do, especially on the defensive end. I love Kobe Buffkin. And I think they should try to keep Bogdanovich as their sixth man. He's a great piece to have next to Trey. Next to Trey, you need shooters and defenders. You need 3-and-D guys like a Herb Jones or a Trey Murphy. Honestly, I kind of wish the Hawks could just, flip lineups with the Pelicans. Pelicans have so many players I feel like would fit in right next to Trey. Ingram would be great next to Trey. The Hawks have to do something before they lose their franchise player with Trey. Trey has said multiple times that he wants to be here, but he wants to win. They have to do everything they can now to put them in position to win. They cannot stay complacent. They can't be okay with a play-in every year. That's what 3-4 straight seasons as the play-in. No, you can't have that. More than likely, the Hawks will also have a top 10 pick in this year's draft. So they can get a really good player, maybe like a Kyle Filipowski, the do-it-all big man from Duke. The Hawks are set up to succeed as soon as next year, really. They gotta push the right buttons, they gotta make the right moves, but they have to shake things up.